Hello, I am Monkey Man, and I'm going to explain to you what Esports WRC is all about. So, first up, the quick version. Esports WRC is a virtual rally competition taking place on the official WRC game. We are now going into Season 3 of the Esports WRC. We've had 2 successful seasons already. Esports WRC takes place alongside the real WRC. So each round of the WRC, there is also a round of Esports WRC taking place on the same rally. And in the Esports WRC, we do cover all 13 rallies that take place in the real WRC, and we're using virtual recreations of those real WRC cars. So we have the likes of the Citroen and the Hyundai and all the rest of them. So after the end of the season, after all 13 rounds, the top drivers will go through to a grand final, and there are some big prizes on the line at these finals. The last 2 seasons we've had a Hyundai i20 road car going to the winner, so you can imagine there is very fierce competition to try and get that win and get that big prize. Now if we look into some more details about the competition, I said already it is on the WRC game. That means this season we're heading into is going to be played on WRC 7. That's the latest of the official WRC games, and it is looking really good. It's looking like it's going to be bigger and better than previous years. Of course, these games have all the official content from the WRC, so we have all 13 rallies as I mentioned, and we have all the WRC cars, so the Toyota and the Ford, you can imagine. They also do have in the game the WRC2 and Junior WRC and some other bonus cars, but for the esports competition you're using those real WRC cars. So they have a new and improved game every year, and this means every season of the esports is just getting better and better and building on previous years. The official WRC game is available on multiple platforms, so you got PS4, PC and Xbox, and anyone on these platforms can compete in Esports WRC. The leaderboards do get combined, and then the fastest overall time will be the winner for each round. Typically players will play on a rig like the ones I'm showing here. They'll have the wheel and the pedals just like a real car, and the wheel has force feedback, so that it's becoming very similar to driving a real car, and we're starting to see that now as we see a real WRC2 driver has come across. He's setting some really fast times, getting ready to compete in Esports WRC. So every round of the WRC, virtual drivers get in their rigs to compete in the same rally in Esports WRC as I mentioned earlier. So for example, Rally Monte Carlo is coming up as I'm making this video, coming up very soon, and so esports drivers are getting ready to compete in Rally Monte Carlo in the esports competition as well. As I said, it mirrors the real world, so they are actually racing on those stages from the same rally. This season is a little bit different, however, and it has a reduced length. As we can see on screen, it's actually going to end in July. So while some of the rallies match up, some of them are taking place on different weekends, but we still see all 13 rounds taking place just like the real WRC. At each of those rounds, there are a few stages to compete, and of course, just like any rally competition, it's the fastest overall time that will take the win. Somewhat different from real rally competitions, however, you do have 5 attempts to complete that, so the whole risk-reward balance is a little bit different. It just takes your fastest out of those 5 attempts, and that's the one that gets added to the leaderboard. And you do have 4 days to complete these attempts, so that's to mirror the real WRC again, as that takes place over 4 days. At the end of these 4 days, the leaderboard is collected and the top 50 drivers will score points towards the championship. Of course, with the top of the leaderboard getting more points and gradually getting less and less, the 50th place, I believe, just gets 1 point towards the championship. Unlike previous years, or unlike last year, there is no drop rounds this season, so drivers do have to compete in all 13 rounds to have the best shot at the overall championship. And at the end of those 13 rounds, at the end of the season, the top drivers go through to compete in the final. In the first season, we had 18 top drivers in the final. Last season was just 8 drivers. They have not announced how many drivers will be in the final for season 3, but you can guarantee that no matter how many there are, they're all going to be top drivers, they're all going to be quick. it's going to be a close competition, as it always is. Last year, the finals included a paid trip to Germany because those finals did take place at the actual Hyundai Motorsport factory, so there was an awesome connection there to the real WRC once again, and I can tell you from experience, it was amazing. You want to be trying your best to get into those finals. Of course, the other is, at the finals there are big prizes on the line. First place from both of the last 2 seasons has won themselves a Hyundai i20 road car, and of course they can call themselves Esports WRC champion, which is quite an awesome title to have, and you actually get a trophy just like the one that Sebastian Ogier has got for winning the real WRC. Once again, those close connections coming through. So hopefully you think this all sounds pretty awesome. I sure think the Esports WRC is awesome, and if you want to get involved, it is super duper easy. Anyone from around the world can compete. This is a truly international competition, and I believe that it really is one of its strengths. And as I said, you can compete on any of the 3 platforms that the official game is released on. To take part, there is no sign up needed. In the game, an option will show during each rally weekend, just like the weekly challenge, and all you have to do is click on that, go complete the rally, your time will get uploaded to the leaderboard, and you're in. As easy as that. This year though, there is also a teams competition, which we haven't seen in previous seasons. Selected esports teams will nominate their drivers to compete. This does mean that you can't set up your own teams with your friends, but you have to actually try and work your way into one of these esports teams. It's going to work very similar to the WRC manufacturers competitions. So drivers compete as normal in the individual competition, and then the top 3 drivers from each team have their points added to their team's total. So much like we'll see in WRC, Neville and Patton will have their points added to Hyundai. It'll work in a similar way to that. We don't have much more details about that team's competition yet. As I said, it is new for this season, so hopefully we'll get some details soon, because it is looking like it is going to be really cool. So then, during the season, you can check the standings on the Esports WRC website and see how everyone's points are progressing, see where you fit into it all. And then if you want to jump in and chat to some of the other drivers, there are a lot of us on the WRC Gamers Club on Facebook. So during the season, definitely get amongst that. Lots of us are in that WRC Gamers Club, and it's a great place. Just get in, ask questions, or even do things like post cool pictures, get updates from the real WRC, all the rest of that. But that's it for Esports WRC. That is a basic rundown of what it's all about. If you have any questions, of course, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. I've been competing in Esports WRC since the very start, so I do know my way around it, and hopefully I'll be able to answer those questions that you might have. If you want to follow my progress in the Esports WRC, I have links to my Facebook and Instagram account in the description below. Facebook, I tend to post like updates on how I'm going, and Instagram has the cool pictures if you want to go and check those ones out. Also, if you want more motorsport gaming content, then subscribe to my channel, because that is what this channel is all about. I'll be trying to upload every single week, so there'll be more cool videos to come shortly. But that is it for this one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to wear your sunscreen.